Annual Church of the Apostles Epiphany Pageant. Who's counting though, right? Okay. This is a little different. Usually we've done it during the context of Sunday morning, but the children have been working very hard, as have a host of adults, and we have a great performance for you guys to help celebrate this conclusion of Christmas and the beginning of Epiphany. So we don't have a proper stage, so I'm going to ask the audience participation because our players have to get in their positions. So when I say lights down, I want everybody to close their eyes, no peeking, and our cast will be getting in their positions. When they're there, I will say lights up, and you can open your eyes. Is that clear as mud? Okay. 6:30. Lights down. Let's go. Lights up.
More than 2,000 years ago, 3 magi lived in a far-off eastern land. The word magi is the same word from which we get the word magic. These 3 men practiced the magical art called astrology. They studied the stars and cast horoscopes to know the future. Because they were good at this, they became wealthy, but their neighbors feared their strange powers. One night, the magi noticed a bright new star in the western sky. It was different from all the other stars. It moved in the heavens and seemed to beckon them to follow. The star was beautiful and mysterious, and in their hearts they knew it was for them. So they set out, and the star led them west on a very long journey to a little land called Judea. As they journey, let us sing verses 1 and 2 of As with Gladness Men of Old. You may remain seated during the singing.
As with gladness men of old did the guiding star behold, as with joy they hailed his light, leading onward, beaming bright. So most gracious Lord, may we evermore be led to thee. As with joyful steps they sped to that lowly manger bed, there to bend the knee before Him whom heaven and earth adore. So may we with willing feet ever seek the mercy seat.
Judea was ruled by a king named Herod. At first, Herod was pleased to welcome the Magi. They seemed to have strange powers, which Herod thought he might be able to use for his own purposes. "Why have you come to my kingdom?" Herod asked. "We are seeking the newborn king of this land," they told him. Herod was startled, but hid his fear. "We have seen his star in the east, so we have come to pay him homage." We have brought him gifts, gold, frankincense, and myrrh. These are strange gifts, said Herod. Gold I understand, gold is for kings, but incense is for God, and myrrh is to anoint the dead. Where is this new king to be born? The Magi did not know, so Herod asked his learned priests, who told him, the Messiah is to be born in Bethlehem, the city of David. Go to Bethlehem then, said Herod, and when you have found this Messiah, send me word so that I may go and honor him. The Magi thanked Herod and promised to do as he requested. As the Magi go to Bethlehem, let us sing verses 1 through 4 of We Three Kings.
We three kings of Orient are, bearing gifts we traverse afar, field and fountain, moor and mountains, following yonder star. Oh, star of wonder, star of night, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light. Born a king on Bethlehem's plain, gold I bring to crown him again. King forever, ceasing never, over us all to reign. Oh, star of wonder, star of night, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light. Frankincense to offer have I, incense stones, a deity night, prayer and praising voices, praising, worship him, God on high. Oh, star of wonder, star of night, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light. Myrrh is mine, its bitter perfume breathes the light of gathering gloom. Starving, sighing, bleeding, dying, feel the throne cold tomb. Oh, star of wonder, star of night, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light.
When the Magi arrived in Bethlehem, the star finally came to a rest. It hovered over the stable and remained there. Their hearts beat wildly, for they were about to meet a king whom even the stars of heaven would serve. They entered the stable and found Mary, Joseph, and the baby Jesus. Mary greeted them with a sweet smile. She seemed to be expecting them. The Magi stared at the child, whose eyes were brighter than the brightest star. Humbly they knelt and offered Jesus their gifts: gold for a king, incense for God, and myrrh for his burial. Having paid him homage, the wise men thanked Mary and Joseph and departed. Let us now sing verses 1 and 2, O Little Town of Bethlehem.
God told the Magi to come home by a different road and not to return to Herod. As they traveled, they talked about the awesome child they had seen. They could not forget his eyes, which were like bright stars when he smiled at them. "Something strange has happened to me," one of them said. "I no longer want to try to control the future. I don't care about horoscopes anymore. I know God loves me and will care for me every day, no matter what." That is what I saw in the bright eyes of the little boy. The other two Magi agreed at once, and they decided when they returned to their homes, they would quietly put aside their former way of life. Let us now sing verses 1 and 2 of "The King of Love My Shepherd Is."
The King of Love, my shepherd is, whose goodness faileth never. I nothing lack if I am his, and he is mine forever. Where streams of living water flow, my ransom soul he leadeth, and where the burdened pastures grow, with food celestial leadeth.
Decades passed. The old Magi were old and full of years. They no longer cast horoscopes to try to control the future. Instead, they served God by serving their neighbors. They founded schools and hospitals and were now loved as much as they once had been feared. They still loved to look up at the night sky, however. The beautiful stars reminded them of Jesus. One night, as they were gazing heavenward, they heard a man approaching on foot. He was coming from the west. His name was Thomas, and he was one of Jesus' disciples. Thomas told them he had traveled far and come to eastern lands to proclaim Christ, who is King of kings and Lord of lords. The three wise men looked at each other and smiled. "You are most welcome, Thomas," they said. "We've been expecting this. Tell us all about that little child we met so long ago." Let us now sing verses 1 and 2 of "What Child Is This?"
What child is this who laid to rest on Mary's lap is sleeping, whom angels greet with anthems sweet, while shepherds watch on keeping? This is Christ the King, whom shepherds guard and angels
this season of Epiphany, we too look on Christ by listening to stories about Jesus and the wonderful things he did. Will we be changed by this experience as the Magi were? If we are wise, we will let Christ change us too. And then our lights will shine for God's glory. Members of our cast will now sing for you our grand finale, This Little Light of Mine.
This little light, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Jesus gave it to me. Jesus gave it to me. I'm gonna let it shine. Jesus gave it to me. I'm gonna let it shine. Jesus gave it to me. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Hide it under a bushel. Hide it under a bushel. No, I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bushel. No, I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bushel. No, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Won't let Satan blow it out. I'm gonna let it shine. Won't let Satan blow it out. I'm gonna let it shine. Won't let Satan blow it out. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. This little light of mine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Everybody. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine.
Thank you for watching our pageant and being such a good audience. You might not know it, but beneath these costumes are children you know. Please give them a round of applause.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Thanks be to God. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. There might be some hot chocolate left on the porch. Not so sure. But maybe if people want to have a photo op, feel free. Okay.